inviting me to come here to talk with you. And it's really one of the reward as a faculty because every day I have opportunity to see young people, young men and women in my classroom and on campus. It's just refreshing, because you can see there are many dreams they're going to realize, and they have great future ahead of them. So it's really a pleasure for me to talking to people like you here today. So I know many of you have questions about Confucianism, or you have, and your professor have already mentioned or discussed some of the issues, some of the important teaching of Confucianism. So it's not necessary for me to give you a lecture. So I think it's better for me to open up the discussion so that you have any question, which I like to answer as much as possible, but I may not answer all the questions, So please feel free to raise any question, which I try to shed some light on. So any questions? Anyone want to? Yeah.
What are the purpose of the temples, since Confucianism isn't always seen as a religion?
Okay, I think in the Western world.
So the question was for everybody: since Confucianism isn't technically a religion, what's the purpose of the temples?
Okay, right. So everybody understand the question? Okay, I think it's the way of perceiving how you define religion and how you define temple, right? I mean, in the West, basically we fundamentally believe, okay, that God created human, right? We talk about Adam and Eve story. So, and God is the creator who created humans. So whatever temple we have in the West is the one who worship God, right? I mean, that's the fundamental belief that in the West have, right? But in the East, the notion of God is very different from the notion of God in the West sense, in the Western sense, right? In the East, somehow God and human coexist together. There's no which one is first, which one later. So it does not necessarily mean humans are created by God, but of course God have higher power than humans. Okay. So even when you talk about Buddhism or Taoism, that they always start with the premise that they coexist together, and for some reason that humans, a group of us, our ancestors, somehow deviate from the virtues, wherever you define it, and then we lower ourselves. As we lower ourselves, we become humans. So initially, we are all God. So we have elements of God within you. So then as a result, when we try to purify ourselves better and better, okay, then we can become God one day. Okay, I think that's the basic promise in Taoism and Buddhism. Okay, so the temple is, so human being can become God again in the future if they have done a good job, that they purify themselves. So the temple in the Oriental sense are the one who celebrate that those people, those humans, have already reached the status or become God. So they all become angels, whatever, not necessarily God, but angels. Okay, because there are different levels of God in the Buddhism notion. Okay? The different level depends on what level you reach. Okay, so when they reach the level, then build a temple to celebrate that they become the level of godness. Right? So the temple is not necessarily that we worship the creator of the human being, but as a matter of fact, it's a celebration of an individual or a saint who had elevated to the position that they are more or less parallel to the level of godness. Am I answering your question? Yeah.
Why do you think Confucianism became so popular in China?
What are the reasons? Okay, I think it's a historical factor. Okay, when you ask the basic question.